does not exist. I'm here to thank God for healing me mentally. The time I lost my husband in 2014. So I think the trauma and the shock made me to go. I was having challenges mentally. So I've been in psychiatric hospital for like 2 times. The first one I was there a month and 2 weeks. The second one, that was in 2015 November. Then the second one was in 2018 November, the same period, first week of November. I was also there for a month and 2 weeks. So, but since I joined this prayer altar on October 2021, since that time, my life's changed. Before, I could not sleep without taking drugs. But now, I'm sleeping very well. I can sleep well. I don't take drugs anymore. I don't go to hospital again. I'm mentally stable. I'm very, very okay. And so I thank God for the glory of God. And another one, I'm here to thank God because since I lost Diana, my husband, in 2014, I've been believing God for a life partner. And here now, He has already brought someone to me, and we are preparing for our wedding. So if you join us, what God cannot do does nothing.
What God cannot do does not exist. My name is Emily, and I'm sending this testimony from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, so actually the testimony is from my daddy. Yes, my dad has been suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, and all that, but there has never really been an issue with his organ. His organ has always been fine, and he goes to the village and comes back, and then suddenly he has a swollen feet, then his urine dark brown, and it smells so hard, and then he was looking all swollen. Upon seeing all that, he kept having this dark patches, and so I told him we're gonna run a whole lot of tests on kidney, the liver, and stuff. We found out that he had stage 2 kidney disease that was already progressing to, toward. And I didn't even know how he got there because I did some tests before he went to the village. I called his specialist, and then she just gave me something I didn't want to hear, telling me, his age, now that he's having kidney issues, from there it's going to progress to the liver. These things happen. You should expect he's 74 and all that. And I'm like, hell no. My dad is 74. People live up to 100. I don't want him to die now. So I left the specialist, so I went to see another doctor with all the results. A lot of story and all that this kidney now, his age. I said, okay, another age thing, and the kidney and the organ. I came to my dad to talk to him, and my dad was like, he's not going to the hospital. I kept talking to him, and so I said, do you want to get to the point where you have to be doing dialysis, and let's just do something? So he told me, I'm not going to go to the hospital. Whatever it is, you got to do it. But I'm not going to the hospital. I had this NSPPD band. I'm a fan of this band though. I wore it for him. And I told him, okay, just be saying what God cannot do does not exist every day. So every time in the prayer altar, I will just put the test results under my phone and then I pray. But I don't know. I got more worried about the kidney. So I kept mentioning the kidney. And then not long after, like a month plus, I decided to go run a test again because I noticed his urine was clearing. He wasn't on medication. So I decided to go run the test again. And voila! Look at it. Just look at the dates. So it's good. And there is nothing wrong with him. Like, everything is just so clear. Like, it was as if he never even had a kidney problem. In fact, how the swollen legs even just went down. Everything just went back to normal. My dad got his healing. His kidney is perfect. What God cannot do does not exist. Thank you so much, Pastor Jerry. God bless you all. Now here we day. I ain't going nowhere.
My name is Laura. Truly, what God cannot do does not exist. So sometime in 2008, I had ovarian cyst, and I had to do 2 major operations, and that's because the first one I did in Nigeria, when we went back for a checkup a month later, the doctor said, they forgot some things in my tummy, so they wanted to do another one. And I was young, and they were, messing with my ovary. And my parents said, oh no, okay, let's just take her abroad. The second surgery was successful, but the doctor said one of the ovaries had some particles of cyst left, so they had to remove one ovary completely. But they said, that is fine, you can still get pregnant with one ovary, you can still function with one ovary, and I was fine with that. Then when I joined NSPPD, I started praying. I wasn't particularly praying for that because I was okay with the fact that I could do well with one ovary. So when people say, oh, their womb was replaced, fallopian tube, and then Pastor Jerry would say, God that replaces spare parts, and I would just casually put my hand on my tummy and say, oh, okay, God, I'm here, do for me what you're doing for other people. But it wasn't one of my major prayer points. They also said in the abroad that the ovarian cyst will come back. So I should try to get married early, have my kids early, and then remove the second ovary. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Let God do what he wants to do. And then I went to the hospital early this year, and the doctor said, oh, the ovarian cyst might be coming back. Go and do a scan. And I went to do the scan, and they gave me the result, and I was reading, and they were like, oh, normal. And it got to the one point, and I saw both ovaries are normal. And I'm like, hold on, come. You made a mistake. I don't have 2 ovaries. I have 1. So what are you do this thing properly? And I was like, but I checked, there's nothing abnormal. I said, do it again. Like, you pay. I say, yes, do it again. And he did it again, and he said, see, you have 2 ovaries. And I'm like, pause, wait. I had to Google, do ovaries grow back? And Google said no. And I asked him, do ovaries grow back? And he said no. And I said, what God cannot do does not exist. I want to give him this glory because what he cannot do does not exist. Thank you.
Does not exist. Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. I'm testifying from Lusaka, Zambia. I met this woman at the hospital UTH when I went to visit my niece. This woman with a son has been out in and out of hospital each and every 3 months because of the challenge the boy had. This boy was moving with a catheter because he was not able to urinate using his private part. So now, when I met the lady, the boy was about to be taken to operation. Pastor Jerry, I told the mom, give me the name of the boy, because it became my concern. I felt so compassionate, so pity for this boy. I said, no problem. I'll be connecting this boy on NSPPD every day, 8 hours. Every time I'm praying, I'll be connecting this boy. Pastor Jerry, the mother didn't disagree. The mother agreed and gave me the name. I continued praying for this boy every day. Pastor Jerry, God did it for this boy. The day the boy was supposed to be operated on, the boy's urine started coming out of the private part. This surprised the mom. The mom called me and said, my sister, this is what has happened to my son Isaac. I said, my sister, don't worry, God has done it. Call the doctor. The mother called the doctor on that day, Pastor Jerry. The doctor examined the boy, took the boy back in the theater to go and see what was happening to the boy. When the doctor examined the boy, it was found that the private part was already open. The urine has started coming out. The urine was no longer going into the catheter. Pastor Jerry, this boy is okay? The doctor said, no, the condition of this boy is okay, it's improved. What has happened? The mother just said, prayer. This boy has been put on the prayer altar every day morning. This surprised the doctors. So the doctor said, we can no longer keep this boy in the hospital. This boy is okay. The condition has improved. You have to be discharged. Pastor Jerry, the boy was observed for 3 days. The doctor decided to discharge the boy. After 3 days, said, go back home. This boy is okay. We don't need this boy in this hospital again. Take this boy home. The boy has been discharged. The boy is back home. They are back in Kasama. Pastor Jerry, I'm so happy. God has done it. The God of NSPPD, the God of miracles, the God who has been doing it on this platform. Pastor Jerry did it for Isaac and the mother. Indeed, he showed them mercy. What God cannot do does not exist. Thank you, Pastor Jerry, and all the NSPPD family. Thank you for your prayers. Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. Thank you so much.
What God cannot do does not exist. Pastor Jerry, this is not just a mere word. NSPPDians, what God cannot do is not just a mere word. It's a prophetic declaration. It is powerful. I joined this platform around October, November 2020, and then I was still single, so I introduced my fiance, then now my husband, to the platform. So we both were on this platform praying together. Around April 2021, we got married. So before we even got married, we were praying that as we are getting married, we want God to bless us with the fruit of the womb as God may have it. In fact, he did everything just as we asked. He did everything, no delay, nothing. And it can only be God. And I was praying, also on this altar, I was praying, God, please, this my pregnancy. I want it to be a safe delivery. I remember every morning as we are praying, I place my hand on my tummy. I will be like, what God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist, and all of that. I remember when during my 9 months, I remember one day we were praying on this altar when we joined the 7 a.m. prayer, and Pastor Jerry, I can't remember the date actually, but he was declaring that your wife will not die during child delivery. Your wife will not die during child delivery. And I remember vividly well that my husband ran to me. He brought the phone to me and said, he was shouting amen, amen. And I joined him. I was saying amen, amen. I will not die during child delivery. Pastor Jerry, fast forward to the following day that I gave birth. So now the labor now came in full. Pastor Jerry, there is God on this altar. There is God on this altar. My baby came out. The head of my baby came out. And the nurses were like that if my baby's head is out within 15 minutes and the whole body did not come out, that the baby is going to die. Now my baby came out for like 30 minutes. The head was just hanging in between my legs. I know these things are very raw to say, but I don't know how I'm going to explain it for you to understand the level of what I'm talking about. The baby could not come out, but the head is already out. I was weak. I was already there, like I already lost all my strength. At the point, like more than 30 minutes, getting to 45 minutes, the baby was there. The baby was not coming out. I was trying everything possible to know if I can still push, no way. But then I lost all my strength. And then I saw my husband, my mother, they were praying. In fact, my husband was shouting, what God cannot do does not exist. Now remember, my husband did something. I remember I saw him. He brought, because my music, the NSPPD anthem was still playing. It was still playing. So he brought the phone closer to where I was. The song was playing. Then all of a sudden, Pastor Jerry, I don't know where the strength came from. I saw my mom, they were praying. I saw my husband, he was praying. They were praying. And this strength, remember I already lost all my strength. Then there was this strength that just came. I joined them. I started praying. I was like, no, not under my watch. Not under my watch. And Pastor Jerry, before you know it, my child came out fully. That is not the end of the story, Pastor Jerry. When my baby came out, my baby was lifeless. He was lying so lifeless. He couldn't cry. He was just there. He wasn't breathing. He was lying so cold and black. But then I also lost my strength again. So my husband, they kept praying as well. So when I got a little strength again, I had to bend my head to look at the child. When I saw the child, I was like, no, not under my watch. That was the exact word. I said, not under my watch. Not under my watch. It will not end the way the devil planned it. I started praying. I didn't even know when I started speaking in tongues, Pastor Jerry. What God cannot do does not exist. I kept on shouting, not under my watch. It will not end the way the devil planned it. It will not end the way the devil planned it. What God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot. I kept on shouting to Pastor Jerry. Pastor Jerry, my son came back to life. Pastor Jerry, my son came back to life. I said there is power in that prophetic declaration. What God cannot do does not exist. There is nothing this Lord cannot do. How can I suffer for 9 months and just lose it like that? Pastor Jerry, I have my evidence. I have my evidence, Pastor Jerry. This is my evidence. Pastor Jerry, this is my evidence, Pastor Jerry. I have come to return all glory to this God. For he has done that which no man can do. Look at see my evidence, Pastor Jerry. Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. There is God here. God still answers prayers. He still does miracle. Don't lose hope. Keep showing up every day. And Pastor Jerry, I want to thank you for answering this call. Thank you for allowing God to use you to bless lives, to bless souls, to liberate souls from captivity. Thank you. And may the oil on your head never run dry. In Jesus' name, amen.
What God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. My name is Happiness Udoka Obiozo. I'm making this testimony from Lagos, Nigeria. I want to thank God for what He has done for me. Number 1 is for my husband. Number 2 for my 3 children. Number 3 for my second son. Let me start with my husband. Hey! My husband is an engineer. So he has been at home. He has been looking for contract, building engineer. There is no contract everywhere. We go here, no contract, no connection, nothing. My husband now called me one day. Well, let me relocate to Abuja. Let me go and look for contract. Since there is nothing for him here in Lagos, I said, okay, you can go. He went to Abuja, the same thing. He has been looking for a job. Nothing. No contract. Nothing. So the second one is my children. 3 of them. Since my husband could not have contracts, no money, no food. So my 3 children now dropped from school. The first one is 8 years. The second one is 6 years. The third one is 4 years. 3 of them, they've not been going to school. They stayed at home for 2 good years. 2 good years. I cry every day. I cry in the morning. I cry in the afternoon. I cry in the evening. Every day. When I look at my children at home, my heart will break. I'll keep on crying. I say, God, help me. Help my husband. Send helpers. Send me help and help us. I keep on praying. Then the third one is my second son. My second son now fell sick. We rushed him to the hospital. They said it's pneumonia. We bought drugs. They treated him. They did all what we could. Even the doctor tried all their best. Pneumonia refused to go. Hey, when my son is breathing, the senior brother, that is my firstborn, said his brother is breathing like machine gun. You'll be hearing the sound from outside when he's breathing. He doesn't eat. You force him to eat, he will not eat. I came home. I started crying. God, what kind of life is this? I'm tired. Waiting they happen. Why my life be like this? My friend, one of my friends now called me, Happiness, you cry too much. What is it? Okay, go and listen to it. God will do something. I said, okay. I collected the link. I bought data. I prayed the first day. I prayed the second day. Mother will call me. Anytime I call you, what are you doing? I said, I'm praying. No, I'm listening to one prayer in the altar of fire. He said, okay, I'll carry my husband's picture. I'll place it on the altar of fire. I'll be praying. I'll be crying. I prayed the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. My husband called me. Baby. I said, no. He said, baby, I said, what's happened? He said, hey, I've got a contract. I said, contract from where? He said, from governor's quarter. I said, governor's quarter. Hey. I said, thank God. I was not doing the job. As he was doing it, one man came and said, I like this work you are doing. Can you do it for me? Before you know, contract come. Without upon contract. In short, contract come they rush my husband. Hey, this thing I'm telling you, you people don't understand. My husband traveled to Calabar for contracts. Traveled to China for contract. Traveled to Enugu. In short, he has been going from state to state for contract. Now he's traveling to UK. The one will bust my problem. My husband that cannot feed himself before. Now he's paying 15 people. He has 15 workers that he's paying. They are working for him and he's paying them. Anytime he's traveling, he's going with them. If they are taking flights, he will pay all their flight tickets. If he's boss, he will pay their transport fare. Now they are traveling to UK. He's going with them. Chineke, what God cannot do does not exist. Oh, Pastor Jerry. Your mouth na talk and do, you carry fire. Yeah. Now, my children have gone back to school. The second one, the 3 of them have gone back to school. Now I am home alone. Everybody have gone back to school. Only me they ask. No more tears, no more crying. Number 3, my second son, Abraham. I was in the chicken kitchen cooking. Pastor Jerry now said, there is a boy. The boy is sick. He has pneumonia. If you are the mother, run. Go and place your hand on him. If you see me from kitchen, also Abiola, I speed. I reach there. I lay my hands on him. The boy was sleeping. The Pastor Jerry, command that sickness to go away from him. He command that cold to leave him. I was saying amen. Then my son and breathe very heavy and he dropped the breath. I thought he was dead. I have to wake him. Hey Abraham. He woke up and looked at me. On what? I said nothing. Sorry. Now I'm back to sleep. I was watching him. Immediately he woke up. He went to the fridge. He looked for food. He said, Mommy, I'm hungry. I said, you don't hungry? This boy that will not eat, I've been giving him super appetites for him to eat. He doesn't eat. You can count all his ribs, all his ribs, you can count them one by one. So this boy eats. He said, he's eating and he's afraid. He said, he's hungry and he's eating. He's saying he's hungry. I was like, guy, you eat too much. Imagine me when they say, they chop. I make all the couples say chop too much. In short, Pastor Jerry, what God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. I'm so happy. I'm free. No more tears. My children has gone back to school. The money are gone. My husband now is not a traveler. He's even complaining. He's even telling me that this contract too much. That the contract is, in short, is where he have contract everywhere that he has not done. They are calling him everywhere. Then they rush my husband now. Hey! Pastor Jerry, may God continue to bless your fire. May God continue to give you fire anointing as they hot. More grace to your elbow. Very, very, anywhere you go. Blessing, favor will locate you. Help us to locate you in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
No way! You didn't hear those testimonies. Somebody celebrate! 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 Celebrate your